What's up, guys? It's first video with commentary. So I figured for my first video, I'll go through a game that I play quite a bit. This game is called Warthunder. It's not partnered by anything. I was trying to find the most American plane while I make this intro. Start off by saying my name's Hefgoofa. Uh, Here to make some content and you know, maybe you guys come along for the ride. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Um, so if you ever, have a friend that decides that, hey, you should play this game War Thunder, and then you get stuck in it and the snail consumes you. Um, if you're trying to figure out what country to play as in early tiers, whether it be, it varies between what country you choose, and what you want to start with. Uh, if you want to start off with tanks, I recommend America for sure because they're 50 cal. This thing right here, this machine, it's good at anti-air and it's good at killing tanks at that BR. Um, I guess I should narrow down what a BR is. So, what this BR system does for here, because you got the rank systems. Uh, so what the BR system here does is you'll have these tanks that are all in the same rank, but they got separate different BRs. Um, as far as I know, say so like these reserve tanks, there isn't a specific reserve BR. It's reserve and 1.0 are the same thing. With reserve tanks, what you get is you get free repairs and it doesn't cost anything to repair them. So like this tank, if you look down below here, it says max repair cost free. So it won't cost you anything to bring this thing out, and if it gets destroyed, it gets destroyed. Um, However, like this tank here, uh, depending on what you have, like I still have free repairs on it, but so repair cost depending on the life on is 31 minutes for 31 silver lions for a lifetime. Silver lions here is the main currency. Okay, this is what you're gonna buy your tanks, your planes with. Um, as you progressively get down the ladder here, things become a bit more expensive. Uh, Almost have the American tree uh, lined out here. Um, and these tanks over here are gonna be your premium tanks. These tanks are tanks you can buy with gold eagles, which is in-game currency that you can buy with real money. Uh, these tanks have special what's the word I'm looking for? Special modifications, I guess you could say, that come with them. So these tanks will automatically come spaded, uh, unless you get like this tank here. This tank was from a pack or something like that that I got for free. Um, but yeah, so these tanks they come fully spaded, which means it's got top-notch crew. It's got every modification you can think of. Um, so this is straight out, stock for you to go for. Um, if you have the money and I wouldn't buy anything until you've played the game for a couple months, maybe a year. I would do like 3 4 months. If you're not into it, then the game's just not for you. Um, so after the 3 4 months mark, I would recommend maybe buying something up here to get you, help you grind through the tree. M8, good tank. Uh, Works great. Don't know if you can buy this. It might be a battle pass because they recently did a battle pass. Um, so for starters, let's jump into it. I got the currency down. I got research. If you guys played World of Tanks or anything like that, you know how the research works. You play a game, you get research points to your next vehicle, yada yada yada. Unlike World of Tanks, you don't have to buy with real money a better round. What you do is you play the tank until you get it fully researched. So you can see if I can find a new tank that I don't really have spaded. Okay, so you got different ranks here for your modifications, and each tank is different. Uh, for depending on how you want to do it, I normally go parts and FPE. Excuse me. Just because when you get damage on the battlefield, so like that tank's engine got shot out, well now his crew can repair it. If you don't have a repair kit, you're stuck. You're stranded. You can't repair it unless you get to a point. If you get to a point like ABC, then you may be able to repair that tank, even if you don't have the parts for it. Now, however, they have implemented a new system where allies can come help you repair. But 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna do it unless you get that really good guy like me in a match or something like that. I'll come help repair unless your situation is dangerous. I ain't coming out there. And FPE works the same way. If you don't have any fire extinguisher or chinks on fire, yeah, you're just gonna sit there and burn unless somebody comes out and puts that fire out. Your crew will steadily take damage with fire. Same with water. If you end up going in water, it's too deep. Eventually, your engine's gonna shut off, and then your crew's gonna start drowning. Okay. So unlike World of Tanks, just take some time here real quick. So unlike World of Tanks, there's no health points for the tanks. Why are we zoomed in so much? There's no health points with the tanks. It is based on crew specific. So this tank here, it's got 4 crew members. I wish there was a way I could show you. There's a way. So this truck here has, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crew members. So I could shoot this tank here. Oh, I can shoot this tank here all day, and it's not gonna kill anybody. That it's gonna live right through all that. Now, and this is just a 50 cal, and that's all this tank's gonna need to destroy. So if I was to hit that guy, I hit their gunner. So what that means is this tank is no longer gonna be able to shoot me until that gunner gets up in position. There's a little timer that goes around that shows you, when that gunner is gonna come back. You see how that body disappeared and that seat's empty now? So now the commander is the gunner. So I can shoot here, and it's gonna register that there's a person there. A little wonky, could be fixed, but is what it is. Now I can shoot this guy, the loader. So when you shoot the loader of a tank, the loading for that tank. So let's say loading was 8 seconds for this tank. It's a lot faster than that because that's an AA. So for that tank, let's say it's loading 8 seconds, right? You shoot that loader, that loading can turn into 14 seconds. It can jump that much, and that 14 seconds is a big difference to what you normally do. That can change the whole game. You might not think so, but it would. Now, I don't know how much longer I can shoot this tank without it dying. But, like that guy with the hat there, that's the commander, tank commander. You shoot him, and everybody's level in that tank ends up going down just a little bit. So it's like a morale thing, Their morale's going to go down a little bit, so they're not going to be efficient enough, right? You shoot the driver. Well, I killed the driver. But you shoot the driver, tank won't be able to drive no more until they get somebody to fill in that seat. And so the points in the map look like this. Normally they have like a big A or B or C above them. These are what you can use to restock ammo, restock crew, and repair. And probably FPA, I would imagine so, because this works the same as repair. Um, However, if an enemy is in the same spot as you, you cannot do that because it's going to be neutral at that point. Um, Trying to cover basics here. So what 5 here on my keyboard is, this is artillery, right? Okay. So I can call artillery from any spot as long as it's within the circle. So I can call artillery there. And that's gonna be right on that tank right there. Okay, orange smoke. They said something about the orange smoke being like direct hits. Um, Not sure how true that is. But as you can see, the farther that they are, the more inaccurate that artillery is going to be, right? So the closer, that's more accurate artillery. Now you can upgrade your radio man in the tank, and it'll call in artillery faster, more accurate from far distances. You know, there's a lot to this game to learn. Um, there's armor protection, so like I don't know if 50 cal. Yeah, so what's going on there is I'm hitting the driver visors and my round's not going through because his armor is too thick up to the front. Now I can take his track out, which means he won't be able to drive. He's done. He can't drive. He's stuck until his tracks are repaired. Um, yeah, the 50 cal is just not big enough to go through this tank. Probably one of the toughest tanks you'll fight at this BR, honestly. Just because it has that auto cannon right there. Speaking of the auto cannon, so anything you see in a tank, you can pretty much destroy. So you can destroy the machine gun barrel, you can destroy the cannon barrel, tracks, driver, gunner, so forth, turret rings, engines. You can destroy all that stuff. You can also destroy smoke grenades on the tanks that that's gonna cause a smoke screen to pop up that they don't want, right? They either want it or don't want it. They can use it. You can use it to your advantage. They can use it to their advantage. Um, a big thing for starters is I would recommend going to your sound and turn a lot of this down, but turn your other player's engine volume up, and that's gonna make you able to hear things better. Uh, you'll be able to hear enemies coming around the corner. Uh, why do I have the speed of sound turned off? I want speed of sound. It's the first time I've looked at this in a while. And I would recommend turning this off too in case you get to, higher tier jets. Um, yeah, so that's what I got for, basic starter for tanks. Um, I can't really say much about blue water and coastal fleets. I don't know if you can start at those or not. Um, Personally, I don't like playing this, and I probably only play it when I have all these researched. Um, Helicopters, helicopters can be useful, but they can also be not useful because as many times as I've taken this helicopter out, I think I've maybe gotten 1 or 2 kills with it. Um, there's a way to check, but I don't want to go through that right now. They're a pain to research because, like, I started off with, I think I started off with the miniguns or something like that. No, I didn't even start with that. I started with just the standard old grenade turrets that are on this. You're right. You might think, oh, grenades are good. No, not this, not this. Unless I come across a BMP, something light armored that I can go through. Uh, so just recently I got these Mighty Mouse rockets. Uh, it looks like I actually started with those. Uh, and with these Mighty Mouse rockets, They're hard to aim. You gotta like, you got. So it's a lot of information. I don't recommend starting with helicopters until you've played up to 8.0 in ground RB. Um, Aviation. So like biplanes turn very fast. They have very first turn times. If you want to have fun in ARB and air realistic battles, which there's no reticle, no nothing. It's just you and the plane in front of you, and you fight to get that kill. With Air Arcade, you get air spawns, you fly in, you can get a couple kills. There's indicators to show you where to shoot. I would recommend starting there maybe. Uh, but things you gotta watch out for in air arcade battles and air realistic battles are fuel consumption and ammo count. Ammo count doesn't really matter in air arcade battles because you can just it replenishes in midair, right? Uh, Fuel count, however, it's not unlimited, so you have to go land once you are starting to run low on fuel. But rarely will you run out of fuel in arcade, just because it's so chaotic and everybody's flying uh at you, shooting you, and yeah. Uh, in air realistic battles, you gotta watch out for ammo count and fuel count because if you run out of ammo, you have to go back to your airfield, land, and uh, get more ammo. And when you land to get more ammo, you'll get more ammo, more fuel, and your plane will be fixed. Same with arcade. Um, Planes have damage models just like tanks. You can lose flaps, wings, engine. Uh, you can catch fire. Uh, a good way to put out fire in planes: shut your engine off and pitch up, and that's gonna cause your plane to casually glide upwards until you have no more engine power and you'll stall in the air for a minute. Depending if it's an engine fire or fuel fire, it will go out. Don't start engine up too soon because then fire will come back because it's going to register you didn't put it out. Um, yeah. Well, that's air realistic battles. It's got way off topic. Um, anyway, for starter country, depending on what you want to do for ground and uh air. If you want to do ground, I would recommend starting with America. They're pretty strong at low tier. Same with Germany. They're pretty decent at low tier. Their AAs are tank destroyers at low tier. Russia, the hardest tank to kill at this tier isn't even at this tier. Yeah, it is. T70 T70 is the hardest tank to kill at this tier because of that sloped armor, right? Um, but other than that, these guys aren't really all that at low tier. When it gets to like mid tier, yeah, they're a little bit all that because Russian bias. Britain, they're decent, and by decent I mean when you get to Churchills, you can bounce a little more, and you bounce a little more. Sherman Firefly is probably their best tank at mid tier. Japan, absolutely garbage. It's copy and paste with the American tree. Uh, but for planes, I'd recommend playing them. Me and my buddy, we play Japan air realistic battles when we're feeling a little down. Pop in one of these suckers and we take on the whole map just because their turn time is insane. China is a new tree that recently got added. Again, they're a copy and paste between America and Russia. So I mean, if you wanted to play these guys at low tier, go for it. I mean, they get some good stuff, decently good stuff. Italy. If you like fast boys, this is gonna be your tree because this is one of the fastest vehicles you get. It's me and my one buddy. We used to play this thing all the time. We just hit stupid jumps and get a bunch of kills. Um, French. I would recommend not playing these guys, not for a while. Um, if you get a premium, get the B1 Ter, however you want to say it. Uh, I see his tank a lot in battle. I can never pin it, so I just wait till somebody drops a bomb on it or a bigger cannon comes by to take him out. Um, Other than that, he's a pretty tinky boy. Um, Sweden, best thing in their tree right now is a premium at 8.0, which is the Vidar. It has a laser rangefinder and thermals, and the thermals are one of the best thermals you get in the game. All you gotta do is aim, push your rangefinder button, and shoot, and then you're gonna hit your target. Uh, this thing's kind of insane. People don't like it, and I see why, but I have it. Um, Israel, they're also copy and paste. Um, they have a lot of American and British tanks. They also have some Russian stuff. Uh, you don't get any of their own stuff until later, like the Merkava. It's not as good as you would think. Um, their planes only use this thing in the arcade. Don't use it anywhere else. This thing is terrible. Uh, that's my hot take on it. Like for part two.